Nika is now a typhoon, and it continues to intensify where it could be making landfall. That's a Cat 1 and possibly a 2 here as we go ahead into our Monday morning. I'm meteorologist Robert Spettle. Let's talk about this storm and how it's continuing to strengthen, a classic case of the Philippine Sea effect. At least we don't quite have that well-defined eye here on satellite imagery, but we still have those spiral bands, heavy rainfall wrapping in across parts of the Bicol region, and even starting to see it here off towards the north and east of Luzon. I don't quite like showing this graphic, but do want to show you Signal Force 2 has been issued. And the reason why is because this is current as of recording this, but the thing with the Signal Force warning is they do upgrade, so you always have to continue to check back in with them. They're not just quite like hurricane watches or warnings like you have in other countries. This could likely get up to 3, maybe a 4 for some of these coastal areas. So just something to keep in mind as this moves off towards the west and we start to see that landfall here. Winds at landfall, according to the Joint Typhoon Warning Center, could be looking like about 85 to 90 knots. So, you know, we're talking about a fairly strong storm system. It, of course, will weaken as it traverses across Luzon here, but still going to be packing quite a punch. And it's not just the wind, so also, primarily the rainfall, especially in Luzon, where we've had back-to-back storm systems, and this rain is going to continue to add up. And, of course, we're going to see some flooding. I do want to show you this graphic, too, because look at this. Of course, we still have Yingxing off towards the west, also known as Mars. Toraji crossing Luzon here, also known as Nika. Nomenclature, it's the Philippines naming system. And then we're going to be looking at another storm system back here behind that. See that right here, which currently is actually a tropical depression. And this is absolutely wild, especially in the month of November. We have 4 storms being named or being monitored at this time. Of course, we have Toraji, we have Nika here. We have this other tropical depression just towards the south of Guam. See that right there? Now, that is expected to intensify and become named and potentially become a typhoon before it potentially impacts the Philippines. And then we have Manyi. Now, at least with Manyi, it is expected to weaken out. It's still going to bring some rainfall across our friends into Saipan, the northern Mariana Islands, but at least it won't be a typhoon at that point. But boy, there is a lot happening here between all 4 of these areas we continue to monitor. But let's get back to the primary one at hand here. Of course, that is Toraji as it continues near the Philippines. Like I said, the rainfall being one of the main issues here, with some areas, especially in the northeast coastline, seeing well over 200 millimeters, potentially upwards of 300 millimeters, which, especially in mountainous areas, you already got saturated grounds. I think mudslides is going to be an issue with this one. Of course, the Cagayan River also continuing to rise. I have to check the Magat Dam, see if they've opened any floodgates at this time. But the point is, and you know, at least they're not going to see a lot of heavy rainfall in the Magat area. But we're still talking about, you know, rivers upstream, the Saifu River, for example. And the Magat River is also another one where, you know, it's already up. And you get more rain on top of that. It's going to continue to cause some issues. So just be ready for some flooding. Not quite storm surge. We're talking about stuff coming out of the hills here. Here's a broader picture of looking at the rainfall totals. Now, I think the ECMWF underestimating some of those bands for places like Catanduanes, even out here towards the NCR. But naturally, the heaviest of the rainfall is going to be out here towards the north, where 200 to 300 millimeters, as I mentioned, especially across eastern areas of Isabela, Carino, even over towards Cagayan, are going to be looking at some of that heavy rainfall. And then you see those totals add up again here by Thursday and the Friday. That is, of course, the second storm that's going to be coming in. Currently a tropical depression, unnamed, but likely by Wednesday and the Thursday, we're going to be seeing another full-on typhoon off of the Philippine coast, which, if you count Christine, Leon, I'm saying the Philippine names here, Christine, Leon, Mars, now Nika, now another storm, that could be five storms in the course of about 2 weeks. Oof. and this goes back to something I've repeated here. Typhoon fatigue is a real thing, meaning the fact that, you got one storm here, you got another one, we got another one. These are going to be relentless in the sense of it could fatigue people. Kind of like a boxer that just does those little small jabs over the course of a fight, and eventually, instead of having one big punch, there's just a bunch of punches. It wears people down. So give a shout out to your friends, family members who might be being impacted by this. Make sure they're staying safe ahead of the storm here as we continue to monitor this newest now typhoon out here in the Philippine Sea. Of course, I'll keep you posted as best as I can. So stay safe out there, friends. All right.
Do you hate doing your taxes? Do you struggle figuring out what the law is and money management overseas?
I wish there was an easier way.
Well, FrontrunnerFinancial.com is your choice if this falls into your category. They're an international-based group of American accountants. They're based in Manila, and they're qualified to give you the best information where you are for those international finances. I wish I had these guys when I lived in Tokyo. Each year, it was a struggle. Where I needed to put money, what I needed to do. FrontrunnerFinancial.com. Be sure to check them out and let them know we sent them your way.